All right, better there. Hotep family, this is the Professor Hicks from the African History Classroom. And a quick sign in to give you an update on King Ramesses II, or the Pharaoh Ramesses II. And as I have promised, I want to give you some factual information, so let's get right to it. Don't forget to subscribe and like on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like on my channel. Now, what you're looking at, for those who weren't tuned in for the first session, is Ramesses the Great, or Ramesses II, following in his father's footsteps as Ramesses I. And let me take that back. His father was Seti. So Ramesses the Great, who reigned from 1298 to 1232 before the Common Era. Now remember, in this particular time, in the before the Common Era, time is going down. Okay, 1298 to 1232. I believe that's 67 years. 67 years that he ruled as a pharaoh. Probably the longest, besides, I believe, and I'm just off my head, I believe Pepe might be longer than him. But he was probably the greatest Per'arch in history. He was a magnificent builder, and he was also a great commander-in-chief. One of his greatest victories you might have heard about is the victory of Kadesh. He brought home glory to Kemet, and also brought glory home beyond his borders. Yes, his rule went all the way up to Syria, and he was known to lead his troops in command. All right, not many commanders in chiefs do that anymore. To understand Ramesses II, is important to know that he ruled for a very long time, perhaps the second longest reign of any Per'arch. P-E-R-A-A, Per'arch. This gave him the opportunity to choose what he wanted to do, how he would do it, and how it would be explained in history. If it were necessary to rewrite history, Ramesses II would rewrite it, period. He was a prodigious father and more than 50 daughters and 100 sons. 50 daughters and 100 sons. Indeed, he executed everything on a large scale. He was the first man to build a temple for a woman. Yes, for his great wife Nefertari. Indeed, he executed everything on a large scale. He built the temple at Abu Simbel for his favorite wife I just mentioned, and she was a Nubian beauty. Yes, Nubian, meaning that she was from the southern part of Egypt. Very rare during that time, because most of the pharaohs were from what you would call northern part of Egypt, and ergo their wives would be from the same area. Remember, or if I haven't mentioned, the Nubians and the Egyptians often were allies, but often enemies. So for this pharaoh to marry a Nubian woman was very, very significant. And I understand, based on the temple marking, she was a beautiful Nubian woman. And again, her name was Nefertari, not Nefertiti. That's the difference, not Nefertiti. All right, so besides his own temple to Amen, or should I say Amen, Ptah, Atum, and himself, one writer says about Ramesses, he was a lavish, and please, I'm reading from Ramesses' book, usurper of the buildings of his forerunners, and uniting or an untiring fabricator of obelisks. Now, what did they try to say here? They're saying that this particular pharaoh would take over monuments of others who built before him. And even in the obelisk, or what you would call you guys would know them as the obelisk. All right, we'll get it right. And these tall, narrow, long-shaped buildings that look like a phallus. You got one in Washington, D.C. You got one in Rome, and where the Vatican stays. You have another one in France. These are called obelisks. And these are colossal statues. And I'm sure when I get to show you one, you will say, okay, I'm familiar with that, Professor Hicks. His name was Usa Ma'at and Sentepen Ra. Usa Ma'at Sentepen Ra, meaning Ma'at is a strength of Ra. And don't forget, or you should know in this period of time, Ra, the sun god, the god of creation, Amen Ra, was a favorite god of worship. Each period in Egyptian history many different pharaohs created and worshiped other gods. For example, Akhenaten was a well, they say reformer, but he also was a revolutionary where he decided not to honor the typical gods, and he created a god called Aten. Ergo, his name Akhenaten. All right, so he also defied the scribes, the priests, who were like many religions were really in control. So he became, and I believe his name was the sun god, but he worshipped Aten, and the sun was Aten at this time. All right. So I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm going to get you guys back again and probably tomorrow. But I wanted to give you this quick fact on this great leader Ramesses II, and we'll be back with a few more, and then we're going to move on and go to a couple of other monuments and discuss those as well. All right, so with that saying, I will say ashe and see you guys.